Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, I'm waking up this morning with my cup of coffee and Queen Booger, who's behind me. Booger, Booger. She's ignoring me. There's no reason why she's ignoring me. She's just a cat doing cat things, but I'm sitting here with my second cup of coffee. I have a very busy day planned ahead for myself, being very productive today. But I want to sit down and do a retro react because I'm somebody, there's different things that I like to do. I like taking long walks on the beach. I love writing poetry and short stories. I love playing video games. I like watching videos of spoken poetry because I think it's awesome. I like reading interesting books and listening to audiobooks. And I also love making Chantal angry. And nothing makes her angrier, other than FFG, than when people do the retro reacts. Because all of the stuff that she's done before that the new beaters don't know about, when reactors do the retro reacts, it brings up all of the things that she tries so hard to hide. So I'm all about the revealing versus the hiding. So why not do a retro react today, this morning, before I kick off the rest of my day and get started with other things that are not YouTube? So, what are we reacting to today? Well, the reaction is courtesy of a channel called Queen of WTF, and it's a video that Queen of WTF posted called Foodie Beauty. Chantal is shocked that the married man is actually married, and more tears for Nader. So why am I reacting to this one? Because there's all kinds of stuff online that I can react to. Well, because I think it's relevant. It's relevant when it comes to karma. Back when Chantal lived with Pete's at the Canadian villa, she got herself involved with not just one married man, but I believe it was two. And she was messing around with a married man, and she didn't care. So here we are, 2024, about to be 2025. And isn't it something that she paid $9,000 plus to be in a quote unquote situationship relationship with Salah? And we all know his history, that he's a play around, run around. But Chantal, is he really cheating if the two of you just have an on-camera relationship versus a real relationship? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to get angry if he's a play around, run around, if all the two of you have is just a professional relationship. It's just on camera only. But of course, Chantal likes to put the spin on it that somebody's cheating, and she gets mad about it. But let's go back to her past when she was messing around with married men and justifying it. Before we get into that, though, let's catch up with some of this stuff going on Twitter. Because you guys know I like to do the Twitter peeps, to keep everything current. So it's time for the Twitter peeps, y'all. Okay, it's time for that section of my reacts where we go to Twitter and check out all the Twitter stuff. All right, let me just pull that up and you guys can see what I see. All right, so for those of you who happen to be on Twitter and you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Girl Sarah. Whenever I do a video or a live, I post about it there first because I know about YouTube and their system of notifications, and their system sucks. So let's start here with Okie Doll. Okie actually humiliates her, and that actually humiliates her. And they're referring to her going to the cafe and the card being declined. And she was just getting a cup of coffee. She wasn't even getting a full meal. Her card was declined. And Chantal said to the server, "I'll just pay cash." Strange how she has the card. It's supposed to be her card, and she doesn't know exactly how much money is on it. She has. Now, I did read on Twitter from someone else that rumor, theory, we got a theory here, that perhaps Nader, excuse me, my apologies, Salah put a hold on the card, and that's why it was declined. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if the card she was using was to a joint account and he knew she was going out, so he put a hold on the card to stop her from spending the money. I'm not quite sure how much weight that theory holds, but it is interesting if he put a hold on the card. Or it could be her card and she just overspent, and so it was declined. And she was down to her last dollar, and the cup of coffee might have cost a few dollars. So either way, there wasn't enough money on the card. It was frozen and she couldn't pay. And so she had to pay with cash. So she's humiliated and she's been ragey ever since. Humiliation, making Chantal angry. Yeah, that tracks. So moving on to Perfectly Imperfect. Perfectly Imperfect says Foodie Beauty claims she can't be in the same room as her husband's friends as per Muslim rule. However, cursing, farting, and pooping on stream are a-okay. Yeah, really. Salah, you got very weird lines, sir. Very weird lines indeed. And I also thought it was weird that when she was talking about Salah and herself, she said his house versus our house. And then when she realized what she said, she was stumbling over her words. Chantal's a liar. And when she lies, she likes to think about what she's going to say as far as the lie. But if she says something off the cuff that just comes out of her mouth, if she's doing a live, she doesn't have time to cover it up, edit it out. And that's what happened. So she referred to his house as his house. And then she realized what she said. And you guys saw the reaction where her eyes were darting everywhere because her mind was just saying, "What did you just say?" And she was freaking out because she was trying to cover up the truth that came out of her mouth. And Chantal, you wouldn't have to do that if you just told the truth. See what happens when you lie? When you tell a lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up the first lie, and so forth and so on. All right. Queen of WTF says Chantal eating in public versus eating alone in the car. So these clips are from when she went to the Hardee's. The clip on the left, she's inside the restaurant. She's eating a burger. So she's eating with a bit more manners because she's in front of people. And the second one is when she's in her car and she just doesn't care because there's nobody watching. So what a difference that being around people can make. It would seem like her manners don't come out unless she's around people. And even then, not so much. All right, something heartwarming from Yog saying best present ever. So this dog is very excited because the owner got the dog a pet bed and the dog just can't wait to get into it. It's like, "Oh, you got me a pet bed. I'm loving it." Is that a greyhound? That looks like a greyhound, but you can see the greyhound is excited to get their pet bed, and there's a little piece of fabric, and dog's like, "Don't, no, take that away. I can use that as a toy, bonus toy there." And look, the dog is excited. They got its own pet bed. That is so cute. The dog is happy. All right, now this is positive side of X. What a great trick, did you know? So this lovely woman is instructing how to wear a scarf. And upon watching this clip, I learned a new way to wear the scarf. So she's wrapping it around her neck, tucking the ends in. But then y'all watch this. After she tucks it in, she pulls it over her head to keep her head warm. And then she puts a cap on top of it for added warmth. I never thought about that. I think that's pretty cool. Like, I learned something new today. I love that. So this one from Jonathan Slater says, medicine for your Friday. Dogs are very talkative. Very talkative. So here's some talkative dogs for you.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Kai. Come.
Chat, I love you. All right, can you say your name? Luna. That was perfect. Luna.
Why do you turn your bed up like that? I'm not, you don't know.
Rispondi a questi gatti. Brava, che vuoi? Diglielo. Ah.
Hello.
Baby, are you sad?
See, dogs and cats can express themselves when they want to. I'm not going to play the whole clip, but you guys, I hope it gave you a smile today. Post of cat says, black cats are seriously the best. And the caption says, when people say, oh my God, your cat is so mean. He only likes you. But they don't know about the nights we were all each other had. Aw, what a baby. I love black cats. They're awesome. Now, this is so cool. Science Girl says, shelter dogs picking their own Christmas presents. So they lined up all of the toys on the floor, and they're letting the shelter dogs pick the one that they want, what they're attracted to. And so all these shelter dogs are just going down the line, picking their own personal toy out of the lineup, and they're very happy. They're like, oh, I get a toy and I get to pick it too. Awesome. You still breathe, baby. I think that's great. Big ups to the shelter that did this. It makes the dogs happy. Science Girl says this mother cat lost her kitten. Her family got her an orange orphan kitten to adopt and heal the ache. Aw. And look, the mama is she's just loving on the baby. She don't care if it's orange. She's like, this is mine. My kitty. My baby. So for anybody out there, if you have a dog or a cat that maybe they've had a litter and they've lost one of their young, maybe think about adopting a puppy or a kitten and healing their broken heart. Because as you can see, this mother cat, she is just so happy to have this baby in her life. Post of Cat says she knows you're her world too. Look, this cat's like, I love you. And I love this part. Aw. The cat's like, let me just lay my head on your arm. That's so sweet. Post of Cat says, my dad hates cats, so I got him a kitten. Yep, it's over. I don't care if you hate cats. How can you say no to that baby? How can you say no? I think the kitten has changed Dad's mind about hating cats. How can you hate on that beautiful little thing? Look. How can you hate on that precious thing? You just got to fall in love instantly. Now look, see? It's just that quick. Dad loves the kitten. I love that. All right, back to Chantal. Del Pondu says, it's like she wants us to make fun of her. Del Pondu also says, is this the website you contacted, Chantal? Because the email domain matches. So let's look at this one first. Hold on. All right, so this was the thing that Chantal provided. She was trying to have a gotcha moment at FFG and I guess threaten her with legal action, right? That's what she was trying to do in a community post. But y'all look at this. Y'all look at this. This is who she was contacting. And what do they do? Small claims, civil litigation, civil appeals, judicial review. So Del Pondu puts in the post, multiple places could have the email domain that ends legal.ca, but this guy's site is based in Ontario. offers a free initial review of the merits of your case, and the length of his email address sits in there just right. So is that what you were trying to do, Chantal? You were like contacting somebody to see if you had a case. Well, they probably told you, no, you really don't. Acadia Strong says, did she just wake up before doing this live? You can see the indentation of the CPAP straps on her face. Well, that would track with Chantal's schedule. Sleep all day, wake up, and as soon as she wakes up, she goes to have her meal. So yeah, I would think that, yeah, she just woke up. She's going out to get her food. Has nothing to do with Salah having guests over that she can't be around for. And speaking of that, Chantal, thinking about that right now, didn't he allegedly have people over before and you just went into the storage room because that's kind of your room? There were couches in there. So if he had guests over, why not just, stay in the room, get on your phone, check Twitter, check YouTube? Why couldn't you do that if he went to your house? Although you said he went to his house. Interesting. D. Angry Scott says, wow, Salah, in 2 years, she sucked the life out of you. 2 years in and you look busted, bloated, and 40 years older. Good luck surviving another 2 years. So let's look at the picture. These pictures, I should say. So this is 2022. And you can't really see his face, but he looked a lot healthier here. Like he had a bit more life, and Chantal looked a lot smaller. Let's move on. Yep, there's the full picture. And you know what? Looking at this picture full length, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that the long filter that she uses to make herself look smaller, it also does something to his face too, because his face looks extremely elongated right here, like really long and narrow. I bet his face is a bit more round naturally. Oh, and here we go. And wow, what a difference. What a difference in both of them. They both look like they've been through it, because they have, but they put themselves through it, so no sympathy. Your mom's emotional support carrot says, Dear Canadian lawyer, I am a Canadian currently living in Kuwait because I owe taxes. I am not going to pay. I am angry at a Canadian YouTuber and she keeps making me angry. If I come back home to file charges, will I be subject to arrest for tax evasion? Yeah, she's a rule breaker, breaking rules in Kuwait. She owes money to people in her home country, and she's been over in Kuwait avoiding that, but she's going to make trouble for FFG. Okay, let's see how that pans out. Truth Seekers says, I did more research on Canadian constitutional laws around the use of YouTube, and there aren't any specific laws that directly address the use of YouTube for bullying. They do have Canadian charter rights that guarantee certain freedoms, like freedom of expression. So do you have a case, Chantal? Doesn't sound like you do. Kelly says she's swollen AF. Look at her pinky. It's bigger than the rest of her fingers. And did you notice how she has to turn her whole body to look to the side? She looks so uncomfortable driving that car. I bet she is uncomfortable. And you're right, her pinky finger looks especially swollen. And I have to wonder, because she does use filters, if the filter is picking up on the rest of the fingers and not the pinky. I don't know. It just, what's going on with your pinky, Chantal? Is that the filters not working, or is that something else? You figure it out. All right, Science Girl says horse that was already rescued turns back to save 2 other horses during the California fires. So that looks like a stallion going back to get the mare and her foal. Maybe those horses were part of his pack and he's just protecting the pack or leading the pack to safety. Looks like there were other horses behind them. That's so cool. Animals protecting each other. Now look at this. Antidepressant content. A dog refused to go home without the kitten. Sometimes the cat distribution system works in very strange ways. So it looks like in order for the cat to find its owner, the cat was led to a dog, which leads to the owner, and the dog's like, let's bring her home. I like her. We can get along. I'll take care of her. You just give her food and water and the litter box, and I'll take care of the rest. That's awesome. The dog's looking out for the baby kitten. Del Pondu says she absolutely did mock Allah's wife for having to work a retail job as though it's something to be ashamed of. Emma says, didn't she make fun of Allah's wife because he has a job? Yeah, she did do that. She called Allah's wife a sharmuta, was saying all kinds of things about her, even though Allah's wife is not online. But she did make fun of her for having a retail job. At the same time now, she's talking about, oh, if I get yeeted off of YouTube, I'll go work at a fast food restaurant. Karma. It might just happen. The instigator says God is an artist. So these are birds in nature protecting their young from the rain. Look at that. See, even other species, other mothers in other species, they protect their babies. That is so sweet. That's so sweet. Truth Seeker says, did she just hit something at the end trying to get out? She really shouldn't drive alone. I hope they have insurance. Let's watch the clip.
I think I'm okay.
And you know what? The car has a system to let the person driving know when they're too close to something. All those beeps is the car signaling you're too close to something. You might want to slow down or stop. Oh, what was that? The beeps are increasing, so whatever she's close to, she's getting way, way too close. I feel she shouldn't be driving at all. And I said the reasons why, and there's a lot. So, yeah, I do hope they have insurance, but even if they do, she shouldn't be driving, period. For her safety and for the safety of other people on the road, she shouldn't be driving, period. All right, Punch Cat. This got me emotional too. Found this 7-month-old kitten hanging around my shop May 31st. Super friendly with everyone, covered in dirt, grime, oil, etc. Decided to bring him home and let him live the life he deserves since he's a good dude. See what a difference love can make. The top picture, that was the before. The bottom picture is the after. So anybody out there, if you see a stray dog or a stray cat and they look a little worn down, dirty, just look beyond the dirty, look beyond the grime. If you take them in and you love them, what a difference that can make. Sometimes all that a pet needs is a little love and care, and they can just absolutely transform. Truth Seeker says, I thought Salah had quite a few male visitors, but he's in the chat talking, so she lied. And what is we are in the purse? What does that mean? I don't know. We are in the purse. What does that mean? Is that slang for something? Is that code words? I don't know. We are in the purse. Does that mean he's making money somehow? I don't know. But let's look at this clip. Actually, you know what? Let's look at the screenshot. See what the screenshot says. Catch up, Twitter. Yeah, he says Chantal is ordering and we are in the purse. What? Weird.
Lisa P. Brooke. Well, it's not as busy when the last time I went because I went earlier than now.
Oh, sorry about that. It clicked off.
Lisa P. Brooke. Well, it's not as busy when the last time I went, because I went earlier than now. I don't know, but I know this like path already, so I'm like a little less nervous. But Andre Marie, anyways, I wanted to go out because I didn't want to be like stuck in the house in the.
Well, that was a lie. I don't want to be stuck in the house. Chantal, you've been in Kuwait for almost 3 years. In the beginning, you told us you like being a passenger princess. You like somebody driving you around. So why is it that after over 2 years, going on 3, suddenly you want to go out and do things? And why is it always connected to food? Unless Salah he's tired. He's tired of getting your food, or maybe he's telling you no to food and you don't want to hear it anymore. So you're like, I'm going to go get it then. I don't care. And he just gives you the keys and says, well, then you go. It's amazing how food motivates you. That if there's a food reward at the end of whatever it is you're doing, you're all about that life. But there's no food involved, you don't want anything to do with it. Working out, unless there's a food reward, you don't want to do it. Walking, same thing. Food always has to be part of the picture. But this motivation to go out, it's 1,000% confirmed. It's food related because you're not going out in the car to go to the beach, to go take walks. It always involves you getting food.
Bedroom or whatever, because you know uh quite a few male visitors. He's having like a deal one, yeah, at his house.
His house. Again, his house. His house, not our house. So if he's having male visitors at his house, if he is somewhere else that is not the villa, why can't you go home? If he's somewhere else spending time with friends, he's not at the villa, why can't you go back? Make that make sense. You didn't say your house. You're saying his house.
No, I
Yep, and the Beezers caught it too. Fufu Egg says at his house? Question mark. Yeah, they caught it too.
prepared tea and snacks. Washed some fresh fruit. Did the bakur, which is like the incense, and did I say make the tea? Yeah.
At his place.
At his second apartment, Fufu.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the one that you pay for. Yep, and then he pulls up in the chat. So if he allegedly he's got some kind of gathering meeting going on with other people, but then he jumps in her chat shortly thereafter, like he didn't have anybody over. Huh. All right, moving on. Now, this is from Del Pondu. This is an old screenshot when Chantal still lived in Canada, when she was with Pete's. This is from Pete's phone. This is a side profile of her face. And this was before she gained 100 to 200 pounds. So pointy chin wear. So for anybody wondering what's going on underneath the hijab, like what is the hijab covering up? Well, you're looking at part of it. It's probably gotten worse since then, much worse. But no pointy chin in sight. And she wasn't as big as she is now. So great side profile, Chantal. All right. Moving on. Truth Seekers says Salah asked her to come home and they can order food. So we never had male. Yeah, you know what? If I were Salah, knowing the state that Chantal keeps the house in, we've all seen how messy it is. If you were a guy, wanted to have a get together with friends, would you take them back to the villa, as messy and cluttered as it is, as little room as anybody would have to hang out, knowing that she could come back? Would you want to have your friends there, or would you go somewhere else? I would think you'd want to go somewhere else because she's not where, I'm sure it doesn't smell very good. So, yeah, he's going to take people someplace else. All right, something heartwarming from Yog saying chinchilla loves to be brushed. Chinchilla ASMR. Look, and the chinchilla loves it. By the way, a little known fact about chinchillas, for those who don't own chinchillas, do you guys know that chinchillas love to take dust baths? That's how they keep themselves clean. They love to roll around in dust. That's their way of keeping clean. So there you go. There's a cute chinchilla. Nature is amazing. This is should be. So this pelican's like, I'm just gonna hang with you. Is that okay? I want to hang with you. You got plenty of room here. Can I have a seat? Yeah, I think I'll have a seat. I think I'll just chill on this boat. And wait, the pelican's bringing friends. The pelican summoned his friends. Watch. So the pelican's chilling out, and then look who else joins the party. You got a seal. A seal's like, well, I'm coming up to join the party. I got the tweet from the pelican. I think I'll just chill out here, take a nap. I'm just gonna take a nap. We got. Let's see, what else do we got here? Florida Salt and Sass says she's so nervous and lost, but not nervous and lost enough to stop live streaming or interacting with her chat while doing so. Yeah, if you're nervous while driving, you shouldn't be driving. Period. Because nervous drivers can be dangerous drivers. Hello YouTube says she said honking makes her nervous, and there's plenty of it in Kuwait. She keeps talking about how lost she is. She asked help from Salah. She needs directions to get out of the plaza. Yeah, but isn't Salah supposed to be busy with his friends? So how can you be amongst friends and be paying attention to somebody on YouTube at the same time? Foop Olympic says, it's just so funny that as soon as Salah started saying no to junk food more often than Chantal got her big butt up, started driving these busy Kuwait streets so she could just get her food for herself. Right. Food motivation. It's amazing with her. Let's see. What else? Okay. Last post from Unicorn Pondu saying, this is why people are telling you shouldn't be driving. Oh my God. Let's watch. Obviously, she ran over something. Over Chantal. A curb again. Don't drive. All right, so we're going to go on to the retro react. Let me share the screen. And again, this is courtesy of the channel Queen of WTF. And this has to do with when she was seeing a married man when she shouldn't have. And again, I think it's karmic because she's with Salah. She wants to control him, even though they're not in a real relationship. And she gets mad if he's looking at pictures on his phone or going to see people. But ain't karma a beach, Chantal? I think it is. And I enjoy that. So let's get on with this retro react on. I hope you enjoy.
I'm just warning you. Now I posted that a community post with all the pictures I was going through.
I'm going to jack up the volume a little bit because she's talking a bit low here. Sorry about that. Let's start over. All right.
My breath smells. Hi. But look, unsolicited advice today.
Let's stop right here. And to all the Beezers who might be coming to my channel because you want to support Chantal, maybe you want to find out the truth about Chantal, this right here is very interesting. Please take note. So for those of you on Chantal's channel that you've heard her talk about the hurtful relationship that she was in with Nader, all the claims that she's made about, oh, he was so hurtful. He hit me so hard. I saw stars. I was so afraid of him. I was so intimidated by him. Like it was just straight up an abusive relationship. Those of you that have heard her claim that, please take note of this. Let me just blow this up. This is a montage of pictures that Chantal put together. All the quote unquote happier times with Nader. And this happened after they allegedly broke up. So imagine being someone that you're claiming that you're a victim of DV, and you actually sit down and you put together a picture montage of yourself and the person that allegedly hurt you. And by the way, on top of this picture montage, which again takes time to put together, you got to search through your phone, look for different pictures, put them all together into one picture and, glue them all together. She also did a video that she posted on YouTube, pretty much the same thing. It was a montage of her and Nader, a DV victim, putting together a video montage of herself and her alleged abuser. Never in my life have I heard of a real DV victim doing that. Like reminiscing about the times that they spent with their abuser. You know what a real victim would do? A real victim, if somebody hurt them like that, they delete all the pictures. They just yeet all the pictures off their phone, off of their computer, all videos. They distance themselves from the person who hurt them. They wouldn't talk about them at all. They wouldn't mention their name. They wouldn't bring them up in conversation, even if somebody asks. If somebody brings that person up, they say, I don't want to talk about it. That's how a real victim would behave, but not her. Her and Nader broke up, and then she makes a picture montage and also a video montage. So, real victim or fake victim? I'll let you guys decide. I already have my opinion and I'm sticking with it, but I just thought that would be something you guys should see. That this alleged victim, not acting like a victim, making montages of pictures and videos for the person that she said caused her the most physical harm. Huh. Weird. Weird indeed. But please keep going, Chantal. Keep talking. Oh, this YouTube is acting funny. All right. get past the intro because there might be some music there that might be copyrighted. All right,
But
next.
look, unsolicited advice today is probably not going to go ignored. I'm just warning you. Now, I posted that community post with all the pictures I was going through. This, I will admit, I'm feeling a bit weird because mostly
to the good times that were all lies. That's funny. I was there during Crackhead Olympics. I didn't see many good times. I really didn't. I didn't hear good times. I saw a lot of drama and toxicity, but not good times.
not sad, but just like mixed emotions, annoyed, angry. Turn out the way my fantasies and dreams had hoped. Why did you tag him? Honestly, I was just really
bang. And she tagged him. And she tagged him in the post because she wanted him to see, making this montage because she wanted him to see it. Why would you want the person who hurts you to see your post? Why tag them? Unless maybe you were putting a collage together for their benefit or for your benefit, you were hoping to get them back. Or kind of like silently say, look at all the good times we had. Don't you want to be back with me? Yeah, weird.
fucking mad at the time that I was looking through what happened was I was going through my pictures, looking for some like fresh nudes to send to somebody. And usually there's one picture of my ass I really like. And I have to move it whole pictures. Anyway, on that note, I dumped Bob Hoskins because it's not fair to him to just be leading him on, and he's really into it, and he's just been messaging me like, hey, moving to my house today, and I talked to the house owner or the landlady, and if you want to spend the night, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to get his hopes up and be like, yeah, I want to see you, I want to hang out with you, because I realize that I probably do that, and I don't, I'm not really conscious of it, because it's just always, I just don't feel like, I don't know, I gotta be careful of other people's feelings.
Yeah, hold on a minute with that. Okay, sorry about that. Something I'd like to say to Chantal. She does things backwards. And she's under the impression that in order to be with somebody, you have to chase them down. You have to force your way into their life by whatever means necessary. That by running after somebody, blackmailing them, threatening them, persuading them with money, that's the way to go to be in a real relationship. That's not how it goes, Chantal. Real relationships, it's not about one person chasing after the other person and then finally catching them. A real relationship is when two people come together, they walk towards each other, and they're on equal ground. That there's a spiritual bond of sorts, like a bond of spirit. You can't explain it. You can't buy it. You can't steal it. You can't borrow it. You either feel close to somebody or you don't. And if they don't feel you can't force it. You just can't fix that situation. And you've always been a forcer. You like to punch your way into things. You like to force people to be with you and threaten them if they don't want to be with you, and seducing men with your money, even though they're not really seduced by you. It's just the money. And so if the money disappears, so do they. So like your way of keeping people around you is just it's not healthy, and it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. But you're going about things all wrong if you're wanting a partner. Like you want someone that will walk towards you, not run away. You're using the net method for getting a person. You cast out the net, and then if they fall in the net or they walk into it, you trap them and say, I got you. I got you. And you're not going anywhere. That's not the way to keep somebody in your life, ma'am.
Part of me is in disbelief that I'm capable of hurting people's feelings. The imaginary men are so needy. They are! I'm kidding. It's for me. 4 times God.
An admission that she's got an enlarged heart, but we already knew that. On top of the enlarged heart, she also has a heart murmur. And I don't know if she has any blockages around her heart. Like, I don't know what her arteries are looking like, but she's got an enlarged heart. She has a heartwarmer, and she's running around getting Starbucks and getting fast food and raging diabetes all the way around.
Really good lover. He's very passionate. I hope his wife starts a channel. I told you he wants you to practice walking so you can get a head start when the wife comes after you. He's not married. She is. I'm kidding. No.
He's not married. She is. So Chantal knows that this man is married, that she's involving herself with. And look, messing around with a married person, that's not good. It's not good karma. It's not good energy to start off things on a dishonest note. You know, like, why be involved with a married person? They're already spoken for. They've already taken their vows. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to leave their wife. They're not going to leave their home. They're not going to give up all they have just for an affair. If you're a side piece, you'll forever be a side piece. And what's that old saying? How things start is how they'll end up. Like, if you mess around with a married person, and even if they get involved with you, they leave their wife, guess what? You'll be the next in line that they divorce when they find somebody else. But she's proud here to be with a married man. She thinks it's funny. I think she likes the idea of getting one over on another woman. Like, I got him, nanny, boo-boo. Like, she's delighting in this. She's delighting in the fact that she's with a married man and has a ring on his finger, and she prompted somebody to do the cheating.
Oh, she's not coming here. I didn't understand what he was saying. It was just a lost in translation moment, but apparently it's fine. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait for my man.
Your man? Yours? He belongs to somebody else. He's already married. Girl, that is like, I'm just looking for something to compare it to. That is like somebody owning a car, right? They got the title. And then you decide you want to get in the car and take a drive. Well, that just means you're driving the car, but you'll never own it because you don't own the pink slip. It'll never be yours unless you get the pink slip, which you're not going to if that person has a ring on their finger and they've said their vows and somebody shares their last name. You're never going to get that title. You're just borrowing the car for a test drive. But that's all you're going to get is a test drive.
My taste has changed so much in men. I don't know what it is. I didn't know he was married.
Even if you're dealing with a married person and they say, oh, I'm not married, and then you find out that they are married. Once you find out they're married, if you are marriage minded, like you want things to get really, really serious, which she did. She does. She wants to be claimed. She wants to be the wife. She wants to be the one. How are you ever going to be the one when they have a one? They already have their plus one. So if they have the plus one and there's somebody in the picture, they said, I do to this man. You can't be the plus one, Chantal. The slot's already filled. Okay. Already filled. You know, you'll be okay with being the side piece if that's all you can get because you're desperate. You're a desperate woman. You're desperate for attention. You're desperate for companionship. That's why you paid Salah $9,000+ just to stand next to him. That's how desperate you are. You gave up the Canadian villa. You gave up your roommate. You gave up your cats. You gave up everything to live in another country. And I'm going to say something that's going to make you real mad. Real mad. So lean in, Chantal. I know you're all about the money. You're all about the money. So put on your thinking cap for a minute and think about this. Think about how much money you've spent on Salah. The $9,000 plus, paying for the car, paying for the gaming computer that you got him, the iPhone, all the stuff. Add it all together in your head. Think about all the money that you're spending for that other apartment that he's in, the food that you bought to feed him, the extra expenses going to Thailand for a month. Add it all together. Like, sit down with a piece of paper and write it all down and look at the amount that you've spent on this man. And then take another piece of paper and figure out how much money you've lost on your channel with this bad decision that just keeps going. Like, how much money you've lost versus the nothing that you've gained. And all because you want to keep up a lie. You want to keep up a public face in front of people just because you don't want the people that are in girl world and reactors to say, I told you so. Like, the money that you paid to keep people from saying, I told you so. Like, it's expensive, isn't it? It's very expensive. When you could just cut costs right now and cut Salah loose and come back to Canada and start over. And you're going to be living rough for a while. Yes, you will. But at least you'll be able to start over and start recouping your losses if you work hard enough. But you let it go on, this thing. You've been letting it go on, and you dragged your channel down and dragged yourself down, all because of the words, I told you so. 4 words, 4. Those 4 words you don't want to hear. You don't want to admit that everybody was right. To keep that from happening, you'll pay any price. Any price. But look at all that you've lost, and you've gained nothing except worse health and aggravation and anger over your pride. Oh, your pride is just a pill you can't swallow. It's sticking in your throat. You don't have a big enough throat to swallow it. It's just stuck there. Are you willing to go completely broke, Chantal? Are you getting to a point right now where you're looking around at things and saying, I'm not making that much on YouTube. It's just, this whole YouTube thing is not worth it anymore. Maybe not. But what else do you have? In the 3 years you've been in Kuwait, you didn't set yourself up nicely. You don't have any savings. You don't have anything. You put yourself in a corner with nothing, and nothing is exactly what you'll be working with if you come back to Canada. So you're hanging on to Kuwait as long as you can, but you got to know at some point you're going to get deported, or they're going to stamp your passport and tell you can't come back because you've been there too much. You know, you are trying to prolong the inevitable. You're trying to push it away. You're trying to escape from it, but there's no escaping fate. There's no escaping consequences. There's no escaping the consequences of bad decisions. You can hold it off for only so long, but eventually it will catch up with you. And it's been catching up with you in a big way.
Married in Turkey. I have 3 kids in Turkey. He has a different life here now. I'm his Canadian wife now. I clarified with him. He's not actually married.
Wait, what? Stop. What'd you say? She's claiming this married man that she's the Canadian wife now. Madam, he's married. You're not married to him. Stop referring to yourself as his wife. You can't marry someone that's already married. You were just the sleazy, easy side piece that gave it up. And you will stay the sleazy, easy side piece that gives it up. You're not going to go higher than that. You're not. You're not that valuable.
Married. He was married.
His
wife is not coming to Canada, so at all. And so so he's looking for love here. So I'm not a homewrecker because he's not with her. They're not together. But he said it was basically a loveless. I really, really think it's okay.
She's so stupid. Chantal, people that are in relationships, people that want to cheat, they will say whatever it is they have to say to get between somebody's legs. They will paint their version of a story. Oh, I'm in a loveless marriage and there's no physical intimacy. There's no nothing. It's basically over. Yeah, but if they're still married, if there hasn't been a divorce, they're still technically married. So he told you what you wanted to hear, what you needed to hear. You wanted to hear, oh, this person is 95% available. There's that little 5% that eventually it might fix itself, but he's mostly available. You should have waited for the other 5%, but you didn't. You were too eager to hop on the D.
Okay, I don't think, we're doing anything immoral.
You are.
Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't cheat. I said time and time again, I don't like to cheat. I'm not a cheater.
What? And you cheated on Pete's. You cheated on 2 men in your life. I'm not a cheater, she says, but she cheated on BB and she cheated on Pete's repeatedly. But you're not a cheater. Okay.
You don't even know how many married men I turn down. They even put it on their fucking profile. Ew, like married man. Ugh, gross. I would never.
Yeah, you would. I remember you telling us a story about when you were younger, before YouTube, that you were at a girlfriend's house and you liked your boyfriend, so you slept with her boyfriend. And then there was another story where you were confronted at school by a girlfriend and she kicked your butt.
Disgusting new low, Chantal. An imaginary low. I don't know if you're having a bad day, Holly, but I don't really give a shit because you didn't hear me just explain for 20 fucking minutes.
See, this part of the live mad because she's over here boasting and bragging about being with a married man, and the chat was giving her crap for it. They were like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Like, you are proud to be with a married man. That's wrong. And because they were in the chat saying, you're wrong for this, now she's getting defensive because she was thinking that people in the chat would back her up on what she's doing, and nobody is.
About this situation.
Okay. So in this moment, Chantal, you were seeing a married man. And it doesn't matter if the relationship that he was in, if there's no intimacy, they don't talk, it's a loveless marriage, it's still a marriage, it still counts. So you involve yourself with a married man, and it doesn't matter, his wife is 8,000, 9,000 miles away. Isn't it funny? They were justifying what you're doing and what you were doing. And isn't it weird? Isn't it strange that you got angry at Salah for talking to Kai Bella, who is in another country? Oh, you hit the roof over that. Like, it's wrong for Salah to talk to Kai Bella, even though she's thousands of miles away, right? And you were in Canada. He's supposed to be a married man, but you were thousands of miles away. So by your logic, if you're in a relationship and your mate is thousands of miles away, that gives you carte blanche to cheat because they're not there in the same country as you. You got mad at Salah for talking to Kai Bella and just doing the text thing. Although you were doing more than texting with the married man. Much more, according to you. But by your logic, if two people are in a relationship, if they're married, if they're separated by distance, either or has carte blanche to go cheat. And it's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Arranged marriage, that they don't love each other. He's here looking for another girlfriend.
He's a smooth operator. He's going to tell you what you want to hear. Oh, it was an arranged marriage. I didn't want to be married. It was an arranged marriage. It was forced against my will. And it's a loveless marriage, and I don't love her. Doesn't matter. They're still married. they're still legally married.
And if it's lies, I don't know it, so who cares? No, I had it done to me for years, messed up my kids too. Well, I'm not doing that, so maybe be mad at the person who did that to you and not me, okay? Thanks. Yeah, because you're way out of line, Holly. That's why I'm so shocked that it would come from someone like
Woo! She's about to go off on chat because they're giving her. That's what this rage is about. That was the other side.
Like, are you on drugs today? What is your problem today? And if you don't want to be called out, then fucking don't be a abuser. Sorry.
Remember what I said before in one of my reacts during Crackhead Olympics? This is what Chantal did. She was ragey. She would get the Nader because her and Nader would go party on the party favors. And the next day she would just, the white powder that she put up her nose, the crash, the emotional crash from that is huge. She's already got a nasty temper. She's got anger problems. This just amplified it. But one of the things that she liked to do was if the Beezers spoke up, they had an opposing opinion, she's going to use her live streams and her channel to humiliate you, embarrass you, make you feel bad, bully you. That's what kind of person she is. That's who she was. That's who she is now. The only difference between this point and the point of now is that during this time period, she was making more money, which made her more arrogant, more flippant about her behavior. And now she's arrived at a place where she's not making much money. So she's forcing herself to be nicer. She can't go off the way that she normally does. She got to button her lip because every time she goes off or she fires off at the Beezers, more people leave. And she can't afford to lose more people on her channel. She just can't. She's too broke to be rude. Although she still does it. It's not to the level that it used to be.
We don't know. You guys don't even know the situation. So, like, people don't understand, and the cultural differences around marriage and love and blah, blah, blah. You don't understand our situation specifically. I don't give a fuck. We've had a fucking whole year long of drama. People act like they're tired of it. You fucking crave it. Fuck off. You crave it. You miss.
So do you. So do you. Chantal, let's be real. Let's be honest. You miss this. You miss being in Canada. You miss going off like this because that's when you felt alive. You thrive on anger. You thrive on negativity. This makes you feel alive. It's the only time you feel fully alive, when all of the nerves are alive in your body and your mind is on fire. You feel alive. And how do I know this? Because I was in a toxic relationship with an abusive person, and he was a lot like you. That's how I know. Personal experience. I had a sort of Chantal in my life. He thrived on negativity. Yes, he did. He loved to fight. Oh, he loved to fight. And so do you. You love the drama. You like being in the middle of the drama. You like causing the drama. It literally gets you off. It makes you feel good. Releases all the inner frustrations at other people. That's you.
Miss it. And I will be striking your face because he won't be on the platform for very long.
I didn't know she said that in this stream. So she was wanting to go after Pulpy. Why? Everybody loves Pulpy. Everybody loves milk tea. But wanting to go after Pulpy. And anybody who goes to Pulpy's channel knows that he's a nice guy. Wanting to go after Pulpy. Why? Just because he uses her entire stream. Chantal, a lot of people use your entire stream. A lot. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't know on YouTube. You don't make the rules. You break the rules, but you don't make the rules. But imagine her going after Pulpy for what exactly? He's not even mean.
Thank you. Maybe you can support him with your fucking psychology major. You need a lot of work on that, bitch. Seriously. It's like, I come on here to have fun. My life is better than anyone else's who's fucking reacting. Obviously.
why is she so angry? If your life is full of bliss, you got bliss on tap. Why are you mad? Why are you angry? Like, how happy can you be seeing a married man that you will never be able to in a relationship with? How much happiness can you get from that? You know, you are a settling kind of person, Chantal. You don't go for a full glass of happiness. You go for just drops. You think, oh, I'll take the drop because that's all I can get. Just a drop of happiness. That it's momentary. It fades quick. You're all about the drops of happiness versus long-term, lasting happiness. And because you get drops of happiness, you're always thirsty. It's not enough, those drops. And yet you won't fix the issue and get more than just a few drops. You're like, whatever I can get, I'll scrape it together. I'll make it work. But then after the drops fade, you become angry.
Obviously. My feelings and my...
Did I miss that? Unfortunately. Okay, let's back up. We got to catch it all. Yep. Go ahead, Chantal.
Getting a house, doing well, blah, blah, blah. And now people have to try to fucking contrive something to fucking make more rages. Well, here you go. You fucking... If that's your entertainment and that gets you off, you need fucking help. For people to be so dismissive about my feelings and how I'm processing everything, like, everyone, imagine going through something so dramatic and people just processing it and being so fucking dismissive of it and acting...
Okay, stop right there. So it was so painful, right? It was so painful, so horrible that you did all of this. It was so painful. It was so traumatic. It was so horrible that I'm going to sit down and put together a montage, a picture montage of pictures with myself with Nader. And then I'm going to follow up with that with a video showing myself with Nader and add music. So with the picture and with the video, like those things take time to put together. You were thinking about what you were doing. You were searching through what you felt were the best ones. And you made the picture montage. And then you sat down and made an entire video with music. You put some effort and thought into reminding yourself of this person, and you tagged him. You wanted him to see. Why would an actual victim tag their abuser so that they see these things, that they're aware of these things? Why would you want any kind of contact unless you wanted contact? You're hoping that he would reach out to you, make a phone call, something. And maybe you thought, oh, if I just remind you of the good stuff, you'll come back. But it's so traumatic. All right, whatever.
Go. You fucking... If that's your entertainment and that gets you off, you need fucking help. For people to be so dismissive about my feelings and people just processing it and being so
I'm dismissive of it because it didn't happen. Obviously, it didn't happen. You know, a real one can always spot a fake one, and I'm looking at one right now. If you've really been through something and you get someone in front of you that's a fraud, you can spot them a mile away before they even walk in the door. Fake. I'm telling y'all, she's fake. Fake, phony. Her talk about abuse from Nader, fake, phony, all the way around, put on for YouTube, using the subject of DV and SA to make money, and that's all it was. Looking for a way to trigger people, hoping that by triggering them, they were going to give her more money. And trust me, she made a lot of money during this era by claiming things that never happened to her. We're talking into the thousands of dollars. It was so profitable that she brought up the topics repeatedly, just milking those topics, using them for profit when she shouldn't have. Claiming that you've been through something is not the same as actually going through it. She's telling a story, a made-up story, versus those of us that have the experience. Anybody can make up a story, but the real victims go through the experience. One that they did not, one that they didn't want, and one they'd rather forget. She ain't been through nothing. Nope.
It's nothing. You know, I'm not allowed to be hurt. That's somebody ruined my fucking fashion show on purpose for their own fucking entertainment. I just feel
here come the fake crocodile tears. Had to do to survive it. Oh, I could say so much, but I don't want to turn this video endlessly because that's what I feel like doing right now. I did what I had to do to survive it. I'm going to try to talk with some sense and sensibility. I talked about that in my last react. So let's talk sensibly. Let me just calm down my temper and talk sensibly. Chantal, what exactly did you survive? You can't survive anything if you don't go through something. That's number one. Number two, you and Nader never lived together. You went to go visit him, but you never lived with him. And never not be there. Every time you saw him, you had to drive over to his place in Ottawa and then in Montreal. It was a choice. But you're trying to compare your situation to the situation of people who've gone through DV, situations where the person that is being abused lives with their abuser and they have nowhere else to go and they have no money to get there and they have no resources. They're essentially stuck and trapped. You were never stuck and trapped. As a matter of fact, you being the predator that you are, you try to trap him with you through blackmail, through money, through threats, calling the legal system, going to the cops. You try to trap him with you. Again, you force your way into people's lives. You just have to get into their house. You just have to get integrated into their lives. And once you're a little bit integrated, you want to just run in and take control. So who is the abusive one here? Is nasty tempered like you, and the two of you had arguments and fights and you were both verbally abusive? No question. The both of you went at each other that way. But as far as what he did to you physically, I have my doubts. I have serious doubts. I raised a hand to you. I think you tried to dominate him and it didn't work. But what exactly did you survive? What exactly did you survive? Tell me. When you drove over there each and every time, and all you had to do was not drive over there, block his phone number, stop sending him money, and that would have been that. But you didn't do that. You kept going back and forth, seeing him, buying party favors from him, buying things for him, sneaking off to see him in motel and hotel rooms, all that. So what exactly did you survive? Tell me. I'd love to know. On this thing. Sorry about that, y'all.
The way it was supposed to try to tell me that.
How is it supposed to turn out? What was your idea of the perfect life? You start paying him for his time. You put him on YouTube on his own channel, and because of that, you can control him forever. And by controlling him forever, you would have a forever partner. That was the perfect plan. That was the perfect marriage or relationship. That doesn't sound like a relationship to me. It sounds a little bit like, like you wanted to just shackle him to you. That's your idea of the perfect relationship. Oh, I'm going to shackle you to me forever. And if you try to get away, I'm going to punish you. That's your idea. I'm going to make myself feel better by balling and chaining somebody next to me. Like you thought that by spending all the money you did on Nader and bringing him on YouTube, that he owed you his life, that you owned his soul. That's not how it works. Nope.
People are not all bad, and you should forgive him. Like, I had a whole future plan with this person. You don't get it.
And this is another clip. This is her back at the villa. Beezers, if you would like to see how Chantal lived by her choice, because nobody forced her to live this way. She was in control of her life. At the same time, she was out of control. But this is what she designed for herself. Look around. Please take a look around. Look at all of this. This is how she chose to live. Garbage in the closet, garbage behind her, garbage around her, everything filthy. This was her life at the Canadian villa. This is what she wanted. This is what she designed. And Chantal was making really good money during this time. We're talking like 10, 20 grand a month, maybe even 30. She chose to live this way in filth and mess. And if she wanted to do lazy the right way, the money that she was making, she could have had 3 or 4 people doing everything she needed done. And she could have just sat on her butt and done nothing and had a clean house, well taken care of pets, all errands run, all of it. She wouldn't have had to lift a finger. And this is how she chose to live instead. Isn't that something? Come on, hurry up.
Do you guys smell your socks? Ugh.
Smelling this. Yeah, she did that too. A washer and dryer in the hallway. All she had to do was gather up her clothes and put them in the washer and let the washer do its thing, and then put them in the dryer, let the dryer do its thing. And she could have had clean clothes. Her way of seeing if they were clean was to smell them once they hit the floor. That's her way of determining if they were clean, not reaching in a drawer and getting something clean out.
I don't look cute. I'm gonna be a fairy. I gotta have like cute hair and shit.
So you're gonna take a selfie with a background full of garbage. That's really gonna be sexy, Chantal.
He tells me I'm beautiful. That's why I still fuck with him. Sorry, I'm kind of in love. So, all right, let's bees. Sorry, beezers. Tell me why we hate Toronto. Because of Nader. And all of the fake promises that were made there to me. I know. I even have like the gamer guys. It would be so awesome to go to like Saunders Farm with you and like do OnlyFans content with you and have amazing passionate sex and like game together. And it's just like, it's just like I'm trying to get the same passion about someone else. I live for love. I can't. I need my prince. Do I look like a giant baby? Maybe I can come to you on Monday after work. I will stay with you at night. Yeah.
Like, I'll spend the night with you. He's like, I'll spend the night with you. Not I'll spend the day with you. I'll spend the week with you, but I'll spend the night with you. So basically, hit it and quit it. $53 old, about to be 54. And you like to talk crap about the reactors, but I can honestly say I've never, ever been this desperate. Nah. Now you have, but I haven't. I would never be with a married man. I would never agree to those terms. Never. No, ma'am. I would rather be single and alone forever than deal with all of this. But you are on another level, I guess.
I'm Candace, the sexy au pair. I want to look like a slut. Sleeping with the married. It's him.
Imagine being a guy, you're in, and she takes your phone call at the same time that she's on YouTube, essentially using you as content. And she's not going to let you know, hey, I'm on live right now. So anything you say is going to be on live. Using a married man who's a father who has children and putting it all on blast on YouTube. So his nephew is calling you? Why? Creepy, weird, strange, ew.
Nephew's hot.
She has no shame. Chantal, you're sloppy. You're nasty. You are such a nasty, dirty, disgusting pass around patty. Oh my God. Petri dish patty. You are the one, aren't you? That you'll not only screw a guy, but you'll screw all of his family members. And you wonder why nobody is putting a ring on it. For real. What guy wants to be with a woman that's going to screw him and possibly his family members as well and make all the inappropriate comments? Anybody think that would be okay with that? Because ew, gross.
In person and cute. He's trying to let you break in his virgin nephew. That's what I'm wondering. Like, he's trying to find someone more suited for me because
man that she's so in love with, the one that's talking all the trash about his wife and saying, oh, it's a loveless marriage. It's over between us. It's an arranged marriage. Apparently, he doesn't value you that much, Chantal, because he was willing to pass you off on somebody else just to get rid of you. So I guess he didn't value you the way you valued him.
better not be fucking married. I will kick. Oh, no.
Don't let her fool you. I'm sure that gave her a kick to go from one guy to the next. She never considered how humiliating that is. That if you're with a guy and he's so sick of you, he's so done with you, that he's like trying to find a family member to pawn you off on, how embarrassing and humiliating that is. That's just, and it's gross. It's just gross.
Oh, how old's the nephew? Let me check. But I like 4 times, man. I'm flirting. Oh my God, what is even going on in my life right now? Am I flirting with his nephew through his uncle, whom I had?
Oh my, ew. Ugh. That's just nasty.
Sex with 4 times.
And that's how she washes her hands. She had a bathroom connected to her bedroom. Couldn't be bothered to walk across the room and wash her hands. Boy, you're savage, Chantal. You're so savage. So feral. No home training.
I need a lemon water spray. I think I am in love.
Love, but apparently he's not in love. He's wanting to pawn you off on his nephew, and you're considering it. You're like, oh, that's hot. I could do an uncle and his nephew. That's hot. No, it's not.
He's gonna go, oh no, she's in love with me. I fall in love too easily. I'm not.
No. You don't fall in love. You fall in lust. You get infatuated. You have crushes. You have weird, obsessive, stalking crushes.
I am so despicable. I bossed him around like a slave. What?
Yeah, she did that too. She did that too. She did boss Pete around like a slave. And look at her. She's proud of it. She's not regretful, remorseful, feeling bad. Like, I'm so awful to him and he puts up with me so much. She didn't care. Pete was a doormat. She would wipe her dirty funkle feet on him and he let her do it. He never stood up for himself. And that's the thing with the men in Chantal's life. She's all about the challenge. If you challenge her, if you tell her, no, you can't have me, I don't want you, go away, that makes her want you that much more. And she will pursue you to the ends of the earth until she has you. But the moment that she has you, she starts to get bored. If you're a nice guy, you're a decent guy, she's going to get bored with you and move on to the next because it's not exciting. It's not thrilling. She was with Pete. Pete was trying to be caring with her. She cheated on Pete. One of the people she cheated on Pete with was BB. Then she got with BB. Hardworking guy, decent guy, nice guy. What did she do to BB? She cheated on him. Then she went back to Pete's. When she started living with Pete's, Pete's had a job, was making money, good credit. That's how they got into the villa. She used Pete's name and good credit to get into the villa. He put his name on the dotted line, not her. She couldn't. She had bankruptcies on her record, which would have made it impossible for her to rent the place. So he put his name on the dotted line, and the arrangement was she would pay the bills, she would pay the rent, and he could just take out the trash. So that was the arrangement with her and Pete's. But when they got into the villa, Chantal was after Pete's to be her co-star on her channel. She was after him relentlessly, saying, quit your job, come on to YouTube with me. And for a while, he resisted. And then something happened. Either he had to leave because of emotional problems or he got laid off, but he wasn't working. And the moment that he wasn't working, she got full control of him and she just got bored. And then she got annoyed with him when he came on stream. She was rolling her eyes. Sound familiar? Because that's the same thing she's doing with Salah. And Salah is tall, Pete. But then she never got control of Nader. That's why she's still interested. If Nader had been like Pete or Salah, she would have gotten bored. If she had gotten control of Nader, she would have said, oh, I'm bored and moved on to the next. But He never gave in to her, and that fascinates her, that no matter what she did, she couldn't control him. But if you're a decent guy, you're a hardworking guy, you're making money, this is how she's going to treat you, like a servant. She's going to talk down to you. She's going to degrade you, demean you, but she won't appreciate anybody.
Whatever, I pay all the rent. I'm just kidding.
There was a funny moment that happened in her time at the Canadian villa. So Chantal was running her mouth, and she was complaining and whining about, oh, I wish I lived alone. It'd be so nice to live alone and not have anybody there, and complaining about Pete's being there. And she was in her room, and Pete heard what she was saying through other people about how she wanted to live alone, and Pete would have to leave the villa. And he came in the room during her live stream and forced him to leave. His name is on the lease. She was embarrassed that he was letting everybody know, hey, she can't kick me out because my name is on the lease. That's just how it is. That's facts. So she used him to get into the villa, and then her entitled brat self thought that she could just make him leave and she would have the place all to herself, although that's not how it works when you're a renter. Be there, and you can't just hand the place over to somebody else once that person's gone. But his name was on the lease. She was the one paying.
One. You know what he just said to me? I need my dramatic way. My dick calls you. Oh, God. Picture of himself, and he's so handsome. And he said, don't fall in love with me. Let me
What a contradiction in statements. First message, I'm so in love. Second message, don't fall in love with me. So if a person is so in love with you, why would they tell you don't fall in love with me? They're pushing you away. They're saying don't fall in love with me even though I'm in love with you. Does that even make sense? Is that weird? Yeah, that's weird.
tell you we're just making love.
Basically saying it's just sex. It's all it is. It's all it's going to be. That's it. It goes no further than that. So apparently, Chantal, like, he was picking up the vibe that you were getting too wrapped up. You were digmatized. And he picked that up, and he saw you were getting a bit to be too much. So when guys say things like that to you, they are telling you without telling you that, look, this is as far as it goes. When they tell you don't fall in love, they are saying without saying, I am not in love with you. I don't want to be in love with you. We're just having fun. It's casual sex. Don't expect any more. Whatever you did, whatever you said, it bothered him enough for him to speak up and tell you, look, don't go any further. Just don't.
Smiley face.
Rejected. Doesn't rejection feel nice? Yeah.
I should say, do you love your wife? He has a whole ass family. Well, why would he have sex?
Because he's a guy and he was in the moment and he had to do it for him. Dummy. I mean, if you offer it and somebody wants it, they're going to take it. Especially if you offer it for free. You offered it for free. You didn't meet up with a guy and have coffee and do your homework and your research and find out, are they single? Are they married? Like, what are the terms here? If we start seeing each other, what are the terms? And at the same time, you throw down your own terms of, hey, I'm a single woman, but I only want to be involved with men where there's a possibility of us getting serious. And if there is no possibility, start walking out the door, because I don't want to get hurt and I don't want to get mad and I don't want to go crazy. So if it's just casual sex for you, start walking out the door. No, not you. You don't throw down the terms. You don't make yourself known. You accept whatever, and so you get whatever in return.
But he doesn't want to bang and run. He keeps wanting to bang. But
Because you're an idiot. Because you keep offering it up for free and you don't stop him and you don't say no because you're desperate and lonely and thirsty for attention.
like the men want to keep having relationships, but sexual.
No. It's not relationships. It's just banging, knocking boots, whatever you want to call it. It's just encounters are not relationships.
Ones. And I'm okay with that. But it's
Exactly. You're okay with that.
It's like, I guess it just gets tiring. I don't know what my problem is. I don't know why I'm mad about it, because I don't really want to marry this guy. I can't expect him to just fucking revolve his world around me. Do you want to bang?
Chose to get involved with a married man. So you knew from the jump that he's already committed. He's already attached. So logic, somebody's married, you're only going to get so much out of that person. So much time, so much energy, so much emotion. It's only going to go so far. You knew.
I'm sorry, Holly. Maybe he is really lying about it. Maybe I didn't really care enough about his wife.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't care about anybody. You're just thinking about yourself and needing attention in that moment. And now here we are. This is what happens when you involve yourself with a married person, that they're just looking to get their rocks off.
Which is bad. Because it's not that I don't care about her. It's just that, like,
No, you didn't care about the wife. You were gloating over the fact you
just
want
believe
what you want when you want it, and you don't care
I'm
about the
too fucking gullible.
consequences, even though they're going to make you mad.
But no, I want nothing to do with him now.
Sure.
I'm married, It's okay for me. What I can give you is to make you happy in bed sex. Like,
Dating, that's the problem. You don't want to date. You don't want to go on dates and get to know people and have coffee and just talk. You can get to know somebody with your clothes on, Chantal. Have you ever thought about that? New concept. Dating, actual dating. We go out, we have a cup of coffee, we talk over coffee, we get to know each other through conversation, and then, see where it goes and move slowly versus just jumping into bed right away.
you didn't care until he rejected you?
Her shift in attitude. So before he sent those texts and said, look, it's just sex, that's all it is, she was okay with being with a married man. But the moment he shut her down, she shifted.
But obviously he is not. I don't know. 1 minute he's telling me she's not coming here. 1 minute he's saying in 3 years.
He's divorced. Like they've gone through the court system and they are divorced. The papers have been signed. He's still with her. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that the man was divorced. He just got divorced. If the married guy is married, just got divorced, but there's children involved, that has to be considered. And even if you're not married, if you're in a relationship, you don't hop into another relationship as soon as the other relationship is done, because that's called a rebound. Rebounds never work. The way you're supposed to do it is you go through a relationship, you're alone for a while, you let the dust settle, you get yourself together, you adjust to life being single, and then once you're at full power, then you consider a relationship, but you give yourself time to mourn the previous relationship and put it where it needs to be inside of yourself. A lot of people hop into relationships too early just because they're hurting, they're lonely, they're miserable, and they're trying to get away from that. But it's always a mistake. You're suffering a loss, and you have to grieve the loss of that love, of that relationship. You have to grieve it like almost like you're grieving a person passing away. You have to have a period of mourning. And only you know when that mourning is over. But you have to mourn. You got to cry. You got to hurt. You got to feel lonely. Maybe you're going to feel miserable, but you have to mourn. And you can't involve another person in that mourning. Because if you get them tied to you and you get tied to them, and then you get involved, and then after a while you start to figure out, this person's not for me, then it becomes emotionally messy.
Now he's telling me not to fall in love with him. I told him very comfortably that I'm really starting to like him, and he's like, don't fall for me.
It was supposed to be casual sex. You got really clingy really fast. He picked up on that to the point where he decided to verbally voice, hey, don't get attached. You must have made him feel really uncomfortable, Chantal, for him to voice it out loud off with you. You must have really put that vibe out that made him go, wait a minute, this was supposed to be casual, and she's a lot. Let's see if I can ease her out of my life.
Like, why not?
For attention. There you are.
It sucks. I'm trying to be safe about it, but you guys are right. I don't fall for the right ones. I feel mad. I feel deceived. I hate when men lie to get their friggin' dicks wet. It pisses me off that they do that. You know what I want? I want a boyfriend, like a partner in crime, a big protective man who will protect me from everything. He'll be a bodyguard. He'll be a business partner. He'll help me in everything. We'll do videos together. This is the last.
So she just outlaid out. She basically just said what she wants. I want a protective man. I want a guardian. Chantal, do you know what you just described other than the YouTube thing? And you described a father figure. You got daddy issues. You were describing someone who acted like a daddy. And I know a little bit about your history, about you and your dad, your real dad. Like, you got abandonment issues. You've said that. You've also said you've had daddy issues that came out of your mouth. I believe you. I believe that to be true. But your problem is that you are looking for a father figure in men who are not your father, or men that wouldn't just function as a fatherly figure. You want a combination of things. You want a fatherly figure and you want an intimate partner, and the two cannot coincide together. Do you understand? A fatherly figure is someone that is a friend that you trust, and they have your best interest at heart, and they have no interest in being intimate with you or being your romantic interest. They are just there to give you guidance and good words and wisdom and be a friend and be someone that you can go to with your problems. That is a fatherly type figure. But you want your cake and eating it too. You want a fatherly figure and you want something sexual and romantic with them. You want too much. And because you want too much, everything fails. Because you're looking for too much in one person. But she just outlined, y'all, what she wants. She wants a fatherly figure, and she wants to put that fatherly figure love interest on YouTube and make him a part of her YouTube world. Ugh.
Last time I'm ordering snacks. For real. I don't want to sleep with him. Fuck that. Well, I mean, I spend a lot of money on food, but I don't cook, so I know it's exhausting doing it with a new man every week, too. It's exhausting doing it with anybody.
Don't let her fool you. She loved to do this. She liked to find new men to talk about, to make a new story, monetize the content. And look at me, guys. I'm with a new guy this week. It's something to talk about. It's content. And Chantal's way of thinking is the more men that are chasing me, the more attractive I must be, the more appealing and desirable I must be. So it's all about volume versus quality.
Yum. I got a lot of fucking stuff. Sweet chili lemon pepper. Salt and
That's about Nader. Let's hear that again. So let's rewind a bit before we go back to that part. The beginning part of this video, I just showed you guys. She did a montage of pictures for Nader. He was so with her photo editor and put together a montage of pictures. Plus, she also did a video. But listen to what she just said about Nader.
barbecue, onion, garlic, and more. Assault, sexual assault. Yeah, I feel really tired and headachy from that rate.
She's depressed about it. Why is she depressed? Then she would say, I'm glad he's going to court. He needs to go to court. He hurt people. Justice. No, she's depressed about it. She's depressed because she doesn't like the idea of Nader being in jail where she can't have access to him. That's why she's depressed.
From that emotional purge. I feel
like she as a supposed victim should be on the side of justice. I'm glad he's going to jail. I'm glad he's going to court. I am so glad because that needs to happen. No, she's depressed. Why?
I feel like I unraveled today a lot. I'm not okay in a lot of ways, you know. I gotta go to bed, guys.
A lot. That was a lot between what she was saying about the married man and the cleanliness and the situation with Nader. That was a lot. But it was an interesting trip back in time. Certainly interesting for those who are beezers that have never seen these live streams that I'm happy to react to, just to kind of bring it back up. For those who listen to Chantal claiming to be a victim when she's not. Clearly she's not. And her being involved with a married man and not caring and getting mad because the married man is saying, I'm not going to give you a relationship because I'm already in one. Yeah, it was a very interesting trip back in time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this react and then post it to YouTube. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And thank you very much for watching today. And don't forget to look down below for the link for the original video in the description. Please check out all of Queen of WTF's content. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.